Hello everyone, it's DJ Willie J here again, and I haven't been uploading very much at all. Well, for probably a couple months now. Um, Sorry. I mean, I kind of other stuff came up, and well, anyway, we're flying out the Hunter, F1, and I'm just gonna go through the process of how I play this jet. It's a very nice jet. I probably my best high tier jet that I've used, and I've only just recently unlocked it. But how I start out every match, at least facing Russians, is gotta look for those TU4s. I mean, you're the hunter, like you. That's your job. You gotta go hunt down these TU4s. So I, I spot three dots in the distance, most likely TU4s. So I take off, start, put it in 10-degree climb. At that rate, you're accelerating pretty rapidly in the Hunter and also climbing. I'm just going to climb over the runway until I hit about 5,000 meters. Beautiful plane. Beautiful skin. Love that skin. This is not a stock Hunter. I do have ammo belts with air target rounds, of course. The new cannons, compressor, engine, and wing repair. Currently unlocking boosters. But I would say belts aren't necessary, but the Hunter is a little lackluster without compressor and engine, so excuse me, I would recommend getting those as fast as you possibly can. Still climbing here. I think we're at 3,000 meters or so. Almost 4. Ideally, you want to get into a position where you're heading on the TU4s, and you can kind of dip below and above their guns. Because if you go from below, their bottom turrets are on you, but then you cross the axis to where you're coming from above then, which is super easy to do when you're a fighter. Their top gunners then have to completely turn around and or rotate to engage you. So you can cause them at least the turrets to have a bit of a delay. And also when you're going for a head on, you can just quickly pilot snipe them or aim for one of those wing roots. So here's our first engagement. Small burst. Catch him on fire. Just don't even turn back. If he doesn't burn up, he's not gonna have a fun time flying. Line up for this guy. End up pilot sniping him. Looks like the first TU4 that we shot is going down. Spot the third TU4. And there we go. Second kill. Start closing in on the third TU4. Start diving on this TU4. First hunter did make a pass, and this is kind of feel bad for this about this now looking back at it. He probably would have died by the first hunter, but I was kind of caught up in the moment, and I should have peeled off and watched what happened there. So now that the TU4s are dealt with, we can go start hunting fighters. It's going to be a bit of a flight to get over to the combat zone. Yeah. Try to help our F-86 out. Try to line up on this guy, but he's a CL, so he's gonna just outroll me. I'm kind of locked up at this high of a speed. That's one thing I would recommend if you ever get the Hunter. Just always keep it pretty much above 850. That's where you accelerate the best. You can out accelerate most of the jets that you're up against. CL and the MiG-17 can't catch you, but if you're above that 850, you're going to out-accelerate them, but they will start to reel you back in once you start to top out at 1100 or so. I spot this MiG, he's closing pretty fast, so I decide to go heads up with him. Peel off real quick using my keyboard bindings. Get a critical on him. I crit his elevator. So pull up. See that the Yak 30 is also pulling up. Now I can pull up again because I'm going over 700. And the Hunter has very good energy retention. Get sparks off of him. No damage dealt. Just kind of disappointing. But the Hunter maintains the energy in the vertical really, really well. Especially if you're going above 700. You're just going to burst climb super fast. Now this MiG is gonna outrun me for a very short amount of time because he was in a dive. I just got done going into the vertical. Start following him with the cursor. Probably shouldn't have done that. Bleeding speed, but I'm catching him either way, so I guess it doesn't really matter. For some reason, he brings me to the runway. Had no intention of strafing people on the runway. But he brings me to the runway in hopes of, I don't know, getting me off of his 6. But the G91 wants to go heads up. I won't deny that. Crit him. And then he turns back, so I'm going to line up for the CL, target of opportunity. So now he and the G91 just crashed. So he just got 2 of his teammates killed for flying over the runway. And I don't understand why people would do that. Even if I was not going to strafe them on the runway, I could have just easily waited until they took off, and then they're still at low speed and just taking them out that way. So now I'm catching this MiG pretty darn fast after turning off. Nothing super damaged on my plane. Get a spark there. No damage dealt. Closing the gap really fast now. he tries to pull, and then he just runs it into the side of the mountain. Get that kill. So now I believe 6 kills now, yeah. 6 kills now. Now there's only one person left on the enemy team. Everything's fine on my jet. I have a small fuel leak from the AAA. Parts of my plane are yellow, but engine's still good, so still have around 200 rounds of ammo left at this point. The last target is going to pop up. Someone uses a blind hunt, and there is the target. I'm going pretty fast to engage this guy. Not the best lineup, but I spray, get a lot of sparks, but I did end up critting something. Nothing super important, so I roll over, put it in the vertical, roll over. I see that I'm not quite behind him yet, so I do it again, roll over again, and this time he is ahead of me and I'm behind him, so I can re-dive on him. Start catching him again, and at this point no one's crit him, did significant damage to him, so I fire, get sparks, crit, then finally shear off his wing. Out of ammunition, brings me to my 7th kill of the match. Hunter, in the Hunter F1. Like I said, very impressive plane, very easy to fly, very forgiving. Repair cost is kind of high, and getting to it is a pain in the ass. But once you get it, highly recommend it. Fun jet. I mean, yeah, not much else to say. Thanks for watching. Please like, favorite, subscribe.